Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer 3 video. Today we'll be discussing the possible rework towards the Chaos Invasion for the unnamed mega campaign in Total War Warhammer 3. So without further ado, let's begin. The Chaos Invasion for the Total War Warhammer series has never really been a problem. In truth, they were only somewhat of a challenge at the very beginning of the series when all other playable races and factions were very bare bones, had no DLC or quality of life updates. As each other faction got more and more content, the Chaos Invasion became more of a nuisance than anything else. The same could be said about the Chaos Invasion in Total War Warhammer 2. Yes, they did improve on it a little bit by adding some more Chaos factions that would spawn in different areas of the map, but even then, you knew where they spawned and you could just have some armies waiting there to snipe them out. While the issues surrounding the Chaos Invasion persist to this day, I honestly don't believe that we'll get a major rework towards the Chaos Invasion, or even a minor one until Total War Warhammer 3. Mainly because we're currently missing the Demons of Chaos, which could present an interesting factor towards the Chaos Invasion. With that being said, we've looked online and seen your suggestions and come up with our own suggestions of our own. As always, this video is purely speculative, but still we can have a little bit of fun with it. So these are our proposed changes towards the Chaos Invasion. Firstly, when playing as a faction not tied to the Warriors of Chaos in any way, shape or form, that being the Warriors of Chaos themselves, LUSC, the Demons of Chaos, the Beastmen, and the Chaos Dwarves, all factions tied to Chaos should form more of a united front. As soon as the Chaos Invasion triggers, all factions tied to Chaos will be unable to wage war against each other and would most likely be allied up. In an effort to keep this somewhat balanced, the AI should be reworked a little bit. In most cases, the Warriors of Chaos faction will try to beeline straight for the player, same as all the other sub-factions that belong to it. So instead, they should seek the destruction of the world as a whole. Rather than just focusing on the player's faction, they should start waging war on every force that doesn't belong to Chaos. It could be really interesting if they also started picking out the weakest factions first, but that might be asking for a bit much. Depending on the map size, whether we have the full Warhammer world or just a smaller variant, more Chaos factions should spawn in more areas. Right now, only a small amount of new forces join up with the Ever-Chosen, and they get taken out fairly quickly. Other than just adding in more forces, it would be very interesting if they added in a certain amount of random areas where these factions could spawn. This would allow for each playthrough to feel fairly unique in regards to the Chaos Invasion, and it might even catch you off guard every now and again. As the invasion begins, signaling the beginning of the end times, there could also be some special event triggers. Say for example in regards to regions and Chaos Corruption. Areas with low Chaos Corruption could spawn basic armies of Beastmen or Marauders, or even new units in the form of Chaos Cultists. This could represent the many Chaos cults that hide within the dark alleyways of civilization, finally making their stand in the name of their dark gods. While we're at it too, a mechanic in the similar sense of the Skaven Under Empire would be rather interesting, where Chaos cults could be found and destroyed. Should you leave them uncontested, a Chaos Uprising could begin within your cities. But moving back, areas with mid-level corruption could spawn armies of Warriors of Chaos. And finally, areas with high corruption and areas that had been destroyed but still retain their corruption could spawn Demons of Chaos. Now this wouldn't be guaranteed spawnings, but instead a very small chance to do so every now and again. This would make the player feel that your borders aren't your line of defense. Your enemy could true enough be right within your borders without you knowing. Some basic stuff like this would just solve the issue of, depending who you play, you might not even ever be affected by the Chaos Invasion at all. So this would somewhat guarantee that you'd be able to fight one of the forces of Chaos at the very least. And our last idea is purely to give incentive for the player to actually fight the Warriors of Chaos and actively seek them. Where there are certain locations across the Warhammer world, such as the Brass Keep and so on, that are famously known Chaos strongholds. Should the Warriors of Chaos or any other faction belonging to Chaos get a hold of them, the Chaos factions as a whole should get a faction-wide buff, making them a little stronger, and this could stack with any other strongholds they may control. So naturally this would give players a bit of an incentive to go and destroy these strongholds, just in case they end up wanting to take care of the Warriors of Chaos. The last thing you'd want is for your enemy faction to be much stronger than you are, and easily swatting your soldiers aside as you try to launch an attack. Now we've also thought of some extra points that could technically be added into the mega campaign, but wouldn't really be a sandboxy feel, more of a narrative. The first one would be that Archaon would stop at Middenheim and start enacting a ritual that would see the Warhammer world explode, following the path of the end times. Here you'd have to act quickly and make sure that you stop him, or else you would lose the campaign. And the second, which is the last point here, isn't really tied to the Chaos Invasion per se, but acts with a new feel, where a new difficulty system would be added called the End Times. Here, you would see not only the Chaos Invasion, but a rise of Nagash, the rise of the Skaven, and the rise of a Great War. These would be 4 endgame threats that would either trigger at the same time or relatively close to each other. That is, of course, if we end up getting characters such as Nagash into the game, but that's a topic for another day. But those are our thoughts on how the Chaos Invasion can be improved in Total War Warhammer 3. Do you guys have any thoughts or ideas of your own? Let us know in the comments below and let's start a bit of a discussion, shall we? We apologise for the short video today. Unfortunately, I've had some technical issues where a speaker of mine blew up, so I had to kind of fix those problems first. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below, we have various social media links such as Facebook, Instagram, and Discord, where you can get in contact with the Great Book team and talk to us about Total War, Warhammer, or pretty much anything, really. Also in the description section below, we have an affiliate link with Element Games, where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Purchasing using that link and also using our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. Honestly, it's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to our patrons Gibraltar LUSC and Ryan Bertsche for subscribing to us at our Fane level. Honestly, you guys are super cool. And a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing, and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's amazing how quickly the channel's been growing lately, and it's all thanks to you guys. We've been taking your suggestions on how to improve the content lately, and we're trying to implement it slowly and steadily. Just bear with us because we're trying to learn new things such as new editing techniques, new artwork, and so on, so it may take a while, but we promise you we'll try get better. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.